been,
Holy shit, look at that hair. This guy looks like a Viking blacksmith. And look at
I'm telling you.
look at his shirt, Norse Fitness. I love it.
He has completely changed in the last like year or so.
He's ascended, man.
I don't know what he's doing or like what changed or what like snapped inside of him, but holy fuck, dude! Like, I want to meet him like IRL.
It's really too bad. Like, yeah, he's one of the people that I do wish lived in Austin or something. Like, I think I'd hang out with Nixxiom a lot. Oh, he stopped playing.
Been pretty crazy since this BlizzCon ended, to say the least. Some people thought this BlizzCon was pretty cool, it was pretty great. Other people thought it was absolutely terrible. And the people that thought it was absolutely terrible have good reason to think it was absolutely terrible. I don't think you guys necessarily need a video from me detailing why this BlizzCon had its disappointing side, but what I would like to make a video on is how Blizzard, although they've been getting better at addressing their community concerns and shaping their business model to the needs and wants of their communities, Blizzard is still struggling, it seems, to really connect with the people that make Blizzard games. I want to talk about how Blizzard is still out of touch with their communities. Let us start by talking about the elephant in the room, Diablo Immortal. Diablo Immortal, many things have been said about this game. I don't feel like I need to spend too much time talking about it. But simply put, nobody wanted this game. I don't think there's a single Diablo player out there that thought to themselves while playing Diablo 3 or Diablo 2, wow, I really wish I could play this game on my phone while I'm taking a shit. I'm pretty sure nobody said that.
Yeah?
Maybe someone did, but they are in a very, very small minority. Diablo has always been this fantastical PC adventure game. I even think this whole releasing D3 thing on the Switch is like, but why? But I digress.
That's
releasing
true.
it on the phone? Like, was the community asked about this in any way? Was the forums filled with people saying, wow, I really wish I had Diablo Mobile? Did people really say this in the Diablo community? Or did the shareholders say this? Did Activision say this? Did the fact that Blizzard got jealous over the fact that they don't really have a strong presence on the mobile market say this?
That's true.
I mean, who cares about the D3 players, man? It's all about just getting your foot, you know, in the mobile market.
Care about
and
the
hey,
players,
if you know the D3 community has to be sacrificed on that altar, like their game that they're looking forward to has to be cut, well, sorry Diablo fans, but you're just gonna have to deal with it. The Diablo Immortal announcement clearly shows that Blizzard has no idea what the Diablo players want. And Blizzard...
Can I just pause this right here and say the fact that they took the trailer basically in the exact same choreographed way as Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring, with the Balrog coming out of the fucking fire?
Oh, jeez.
I mean, it's the exact same thing. And then the guy's face is just like Gandalf's. It's like they ripped off the game. They ripped off the cinematic. I mean, what's left?
Blizzard Entertainment has no clue on how to provide that to them. I'm sorry, but that's the truth. The next thing we got to talk about is Classic WoW. Blizzard has shown that they definitely have listened in many ways in regards to recreating Classic as it was.
Yes.
However, Blizzard seems to be still disconnected from their Classic WoW community, including people like me, with some of the comments that they made at BlizzCon and some of the comments that have been popping up on the various WoW forums. The first thing that I would like to draw your attention to is the fact that Ian Hazakostas made this very clever metaphor up on the BlizzCon stage. He said that if somebody was playing Classic WoW all those years ago, ended up taking a super long nap, and he woke up, the game that he would play would be exactly as it was all those years ago. but
Red.
and that's it right there. But what, Blizzard? You're recreating classic WoW as it was back in the day. Why
Okay.
is there a but included in that statement? You see, as soon as you say that, you lose players like me. You lose the entire classic WoW community, the people that are going to play it religiously and loyally, because the presence of that but means that whatever it is you're about to pump out is not going to be classic WoW. It's not. It's going to be a modded, modern, quality of life changed classic WoW. And what am I talking about? Well, let's talk about the two things that are coming out in classic WoW, apparently, that Blizzard has talked about. The first thing that Blizzard talked about at BlizzCon was loot sharing.
Ooh,
Loot
that's my
sharing
favorite
being
thing.
a thing in classic WoW.
I
now,
love
first and
that.
foremost, loot sharing did not exist in classic WoW. And if you don't know what it is, essentially,
Everybody likes sharing.
if me and you are doing a dungeon and an item drops, like let's say a sword, and I'm a warrior and you're a mage, and you accidentally need on it, and you get it, even though I needed it because I'm the warrior, well, we will have a 2-hour window, just like in WoW today, where I can trade you, or you can trade me that sword, and no harm done. Now that sounds all fine and dandy, but here's the problem. It's not classic. It's not. And some of you more modern WoW players might be thinking to yourselves, well, what's the big deal, Nixxiom? What's the big deal? Well, there's two big deals. Number
That's
one,
for you.
it's not
Just
classic.
a second. Let me pause. Who said that? Someone literally said that in chat. T-A-I-Y-A. Who cares? It's not a big deal. See? He predicted you. He knew what you were going to say. And he's about to fucking come back at you so fucking hard. Listen to this right now. Turn up your monitor.
So, shouldn't be in the game. Just that simple. Number two, however, it removes the possibility of ninja looting. And ninja looting, yes, it is a negative,
No,
but that's
it's not.
just the thing. It makes the community feel more like a living, breathing community. There are really good people that will give up the potential of picking up that sword in order to give it to somebody else. But there are also those assholes that'll steal that sword from you, and then they get blacklisted by their community. Nobody wants to invite them to their guilds. Nobody wants to invite them to their groups. And it makes the community feel alive. There are good people. There are bad people. Good players, bad players, and so on and so forth. It makes it feel real. The next thing that Blizzard talked about, especially on the forums, was the presence of sharding in classic WoW. Now they said that sharding was specifically a demo thing, and phasing would be a demo thing. However, Blizzard made comments on the forums stating that when classic WoW comes out, there might be sharding in the starting zones. And let me be one of many classic voices to say this. No.
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 Sharding and phasing did not exist in Classic back in the day, and it should not exist on the servers. I know you guys are sitting there thinking, my God, Nixxiom, like, you're going to be competing against that hunter, that mage, and that warlock, you know, for those mobs.
That's right.
You know, you're going to be trying to kill those Defias guys, and you're going to have those 3 dudes trying to take the same exact mobs you are. Exactly. Because that is what makes Classic WoW special. That's what makes it awesome. You see, you might be questing, and those 3 people are tagging your mobs, taking your stuff, and it's frustrating. Yeah, it's frustrating. But you know what? Because it's frustrating, because those people are taking your shit, you get an idea in your head. And you know what that idea is? You say to them in /S, you say, hey guys, we're all doing the same quest. You want to group up? Remember how in many of my other videos I've talked about how Classic WoW
with other people?
forces social interaction in many ways?
Who is this
one
guy?
of them. It's a game that will put people in positions where they are fighting over mobs. They are fighting over quest pickups and all this stuff. And because of that, people will naturally group up. And while they're doing the quest, killing those raptors, picking up that stolen silver, whatever, while they're doing that, there is the opportunity there for social interaction, for those players to meet each other, properly get to know one another, and add each other on their friends list. And sharding goes completely against this, because it means that I'm not going to see that hunter or that mage or that warrior, or
That's actually
maybe I'll
really
just see
true.
that warrior, you know, just him, and me and
That's
him are
me.
killing kobolds, and we don't even need to group up. We're fine. There's plenty of kobolds for both of us. Sharding eliminates this. It eliminates the possibility of people grouping up because they don't even see each other. MMORPGs are not supposed to be single-player experiences, and sharding and phasing helps make the game easier because you're not competing against other players, and it makes the game able to be played in a single-player manner. And ain't no classic fanboy got time for that chicken shit bullshit. Blizzard, it is
There
very
it is,
simple.
boys.
When it comes to Diablo,
Real.
people don't want Diablo Mobile. I don't know
Real.
what the fuck you were thinking. And when it comes to classic WoW, no true classic fanboy wants to see like frickin' sharding in there or loot sharing in there. Like, no, you're getting rid. Blizzard, you are out of touch with your community. When you say you're making a new Diablo game, you don't make Diablo Mobile, okay? The Diablo people don't want that shit.
They're the biggest
and when you
nerds
say,
in the whole
oh,
convention.
hey, we're gonna recreate Classic exactly as it was, you don't throw sharding in there and throw in loot trading and throw in some old bullshit that was not in Classic. How fucking hard is that to understand? Now, to Blizzard's credit, they've been failing in some areas, they've been doing good in others. In patch 8.1 in World of Warcraft, a lot of the concerns that people have had about the game, the Azerite system, the island expeditions, all that stuff, a lot of it is being addressed in the next patch. And hey, credit where credit is due.
True.
Well done, Blizzard. However, Blizzard just isn't quite there yet. They're listening in some regards, they're not listening in others. Blizzard, you're my favorite company ever. You always will be. And I always want the best from you. So those are my thoughts, guys. Let me know what you think down in the comment section below. Do you think that Blizzard is very disconnected from their communities, or do you think this is just kind of a hiccup, just a kind of a hiccup situation? Let me know down below. Thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for more, and I'll see ya.
That's true. So, there's the video, by the way. I want to link it to you guys so you can see it. Go give it a like or whatever. Was he right?
Yeah.
I think so. I mean, I think with a lot of ways. So, basically, the sharding, here's the way I look at with the sharding, is that I don't think the sharding is really, like, for a couple of days or a week or whatever at the beginning, it's like, I don't really care. It's whatever to me. I don't want them to do it. I'd rather the servers are just completely overpopulated. I would prefer that. But if they did do sharding, it's not really going to be a big deal. I think it kind of makes sense. The loot trading, I think, is actually a very bad idea. There's loot trading doesn't get rid of ninja looting. It actually makes it worse. That's true. Ninja looting made vanilla good. Now I've heard it all. True, bro. Wait, no, that's no. What downvote? Now I've heard it. That is completely true. Wait, what do you mean? Like, ninja looting is what made everything special. It's because it adds like that level of trust. What is it that people don't understand about these psychological elements, man? All the problems are because
I don't know.
Like, they don't understand. Go ahead.
You could probably do a case study on why people think that, like, curated experiences, social experiences is good versus bad. Like, having ninja looting in the game is a bad experience. Getting your shit taken is bad. But at the same time, it creates a dynamic of the game that makes it feel real. And that's what drives people to continue to play. It's what sucks people in. Don't you want to be sucked up?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I really do. And the thing is that, like, what they're saying and, like, what Blizzard is saying is that I think the things that they're doing are purely because they don't want to have to spend money on paying for servers. That's the main thing, is they don't want to have to spend money on buying you know, a dozen new servers, or, you know, 300 new servers for everybody that first starts at the game, and I don't want to spend money servicing the tickets that they'd have to deal with whenever they get people that get traded the wrong loot. But I think Blizzard should look at it from another perspective, is that the amount of tickets that they're going to receive about players complaining about each other because one person is trying to barter with an item, or just needing on an item and then trying to trade it for money or something like that, because that's what I'm going to do. Like, if I wasn't a streamer, right, and I was just a random person playing the game, what I would do is I would go around and I would need roll on every single item that I could get, and then I would sell it back to the people at a certain price. So I do it at the last boss, right? That way, obviously, I'd be needing on the best items, while at the same time being able to not worry about getting kicked out of the group, because it's the last boss, so he'd be dead and the dungeon would be over anyway, and people would forget about it in a day. So I would need roll on everything, and then I would try to sell it back to my group. And I've done this before in current WoW too. I used to do it all the time in like Wrath of the Lich King, because they introduced this change in what is it, patch 3.1. It was the Ulduar patch. And before that, I used to actually do this. I would put in tickets to Blizzard. I would need roll on people's gear, and this was in Max 25 man. I would need roll on people's gear, and then I would tell them that if they gave me like 8,000 gold or something like that for the piece of gear, I would put in a ticket and say that it was a mistake, and then have the item redistributed to them. And I did this probably like 5 or 6 times, and I tried to do it a lot more. And of course I would do this. There's no reason not to do it. Yeah, Force GDKP. Exactly, and so I would take as many items as possible. And the thing is that these changes are actually empowering players like me to do things that are harmful to the game. Like, I do not feel like that behavior is positive or conducive to an enjoyable experience for players, right? I don't think so at all. And what McConnell was saying is also completely true. Even though ninja looting, the experience of ninja looting is not good, the ability for it to happen is meaningful. And taking that risk is what matters. And the fact that you can take that risk and take matters into your own hands is meaningful. And I think that counts a lot. Let's see, is loot point was stupid because it's not like assholes will trade the loot back? It's to save GM ticket time. Well, no, I just gave you a reason why they would trade it back. I don't think that's true at all. There's a lot of times that you'd want to trade it back for a number of different reasons. They block needing on everything in the Legion pre-patch. Well, exactly, right? And so, like, that's another thing that people do forget, is because they don't remember the fact that before like patch 7.0 or something like that, you could need roll on any item that you wanted. So you could be a warrior and need roll on like a cloth belt, and then you could sell it back over to somebody else. And that's what I would do all the time. Like, I have screenshots of myself doing it because I thought it was funny about how mad people would get whenever I did it. And this is the same thing that's going to happen in Classic if they allow this to happen. And it's like one change. Here's like, it's like a butterfly effect. So if they make this loot trading change, then they would probably also have to make a change to where you can't need roll on plate gear if you're a hunter or something like that. And you see how, like, these things compound on each other, and it's just one thing after another that you have to, like, kind of balance between. And the simplest solution is to not change anything, so you don't have to change the balancing act at all. Just because one retard pays doesn't mean that it ruins the game. Well, it does in a way, because it adds a separate dynamic to it, to where every single time a piece of gear drops, you always are worried about someone doing that. And the fact that, like, that is in your mind, because it's same as like ninja looting. Like, ninja looting did not happen all the time. It was very, very rare. To put it into perspective, I only got ninja looted once, ever. That was the only time I ever got ninja looted. And I actually came out ahead because I told the guy that I would buy the item off of him, and I thought it was actually good because then I didn't have to roll off of anybody else because I had lost the roll and he looted it all to himself anyway. So it was better. You were the ninja looted. Well, I mean, like, sometimes, yeah, but not all the time. I didn't ninja loot constantly. Alex is smack talking you on YouTube. Well, I can't watch it or respond to it or see what he says because he's banned on Twitch. So, I mean, I don't really know what I'm supposed to do. Yeah, I mean, what do you want me to say? Like, if he's mad, I mean, I mean, I literally cannot respond. And I also don't want to like take like, oh, well, he said this, and then I say something bad.